Hi all, Goda Govinda. Happy Friday. Today's discussion would be a continuation of where we left yesterday, which is a dive into a Celestial Secrets part 2. Okay, so today we are going to understand about a very popular concept, which is very popular and people are still getting confused. I thought, Adian thought it would be better to discuss about it in a I mean, not in a philosophical way, but in a practical way, so that people can understand, and we can divulge into the secrets. um and also, of course, other secrets of spiritual things. Okay, so without further ado, everybody would have heard about like aham brahmasmi. I repeat, aham brahmasmi, and people would have given like various explanation, aham brahmasmi means I am God, aham brahmasmi means no, you're not God, and everything. So from Sri Vaishnava followers, sampradaya or lineage religious group, we would like to give you an explanation, not from the philosophical way, because I do not want to get into philosophical thing. But since our Sri Vaishnavism propounds only Sharanagati, which is like a wedding with Sriman Narayana. So basically, I can explain it via how an husband and wife relationship works with respect to Ham Brahmasmi. Then I guess then everybody could understand, oh, this might be a philosophical explanation too, who knows. So basically, let's take an example. If we are in a husband and wife relationship, of course, why I'm saying we are wives in the sense, as souls, we are all females. So let's remember that. Please don't get offended even if you're in male body. So that is very important in order to understand the concept behind Aham Brahmasmi. So if since we are all wives of Sriman Narayana in his own form, and usually as a wife, how would we look up to our husband? Usually we'll try to look up to our husband one step above us, so that we can feel the pride, take the pride and everything. So that is basically the main concept of Aham Brahmasmi. That means I am not the God, because Sanskrit is a beautiful language where same word has different meanings. And also if one word, I mean, if one letter got changed, it will have a totally different meaning. And the Sanskrit got changed over the past years. So basically, from a husband and wife relationship, if we take it from that perspective, so as a wife, we always wanted to look up to our husband for everything. That doesn't mean that we are not equal or anything like that. So that is completely different. Yeah, still is better off. But then in practical life, you just take a husband and wife. Wives always love to look up to their husband. Of course, sometimes they'll dominate, but that doesn't mean that they always take pride in getting to know something which her husband does, rather than her, right? Or certain things can be done only by the husband, not by the wife. Even though wives can be a breadwinner of the family, there are certain things which can only be done by husband. And I mean, with respect to the bodily thing or husband's love, one of the unique love making, I mean, can be done only by the husband, right? And another thing, the childbirth can only be done by the wife. We cannot swap, okay, hey, you know what, I'm tired of childbearing thing, so you better start bearing the child. No, that's not possible. So that is what Aham Brahmasmi is so let's try to understand so basically how we are looking at Sriman Narayana as husband is we always want to look up one step above us at the same time, so that we can take pride. That doesn't mean that he is dominating us, definitely not. Actually, he will keep us on top of his head, more than us. So that is how a beautiful relationship. So think about a person who's ready to do anything for you, and he's ready to even give a supremacy position for you, even if you desire. So think about it from that position, from that perspective, where your husband wants to always like keep praising you, always supporting you, and then like no arguments, nothing like that. So that happens only in the spiritual world and the eternal world, not here, because like here we always like argue, there are always differences of opinion or anything like that. But Srimad Narayana, if we wedded him via Sharanagati, by taking Sharanagati or Prapatti, like he is ready to take any form for us. Like who would be like ready to take any form for us, right? And he is ready to do anything for us. Like even though we are trying to keep him one step above us, like he will keep us like he is keeping us like on top of his head. And more than that, like more than what we love him, how we love him, he loves us more than we do actually. So that is what Aham Brahmasmi is. I would give you an example. I mean, like I wouldn't say an example. This is what happens when you go to the eternal world. So he gives us equal knowledge, equal status with respect to him, with respect to knowledge, wealth, prowess, beauty, and power. And the example is like a painting. You all must have seen the painting of Radha Krishna, where Radha would be like looking up towards Krishna, and Krishna would be looking down. So that is the portrayal of Aham Brahmasmi. That doesn't mean that like Srimad Narayana is like looking down upon us. No, it's definitely not, because actually like he is ready to look up towards us, and that is how he's treating us even in this world, even in this Prakriti world. So basically like think of it, if you have a hubby who is ready to do anything for you, and he can come to you in any form which you like, and there'll be no arguments, no misunderstanding, nothing. It is just purely your desires would get fulfilled. How beautiful it would be, right? I mean, that's what every girl's dream is. So when I mention every girl's dream is, it's like, as a soul we are all females, right? So that is Srimad Narayana. Like of course, like once the karma got banished, we can experience the same relationship over here. So how the karma will get banished? Only by taking Sharanagati, only by wedding to him. So that is our philosophy. So that is our Sri Vaishnavism philosophy, or I would say the main propaganda. So that is Aham Brahmasmi. So I hope like it cleared all the doubts. Of course, it is not a detailed thing, but just take it from a husband and wife relationship. Let's not get into philosophical thing. Like that is something which I do not want to get into it. It's just a beautiful husband and wife relationship, like where Srimad Narayana is ready to do anything for you. Like if you're interested in getting jewelry, he would never say no. Or if you want to get a private island in the eternal world, he would create it. And like he would come and take you to Sri Vaikuntham, and all those things. So I mean, he's such a sweet person. I mean, like I don't know. I mean, like I wish everybody should wed him and experience it over here, since all our karma will be nullified over here itself, and then start experiencing their beautiful life post wedding to him. So another thing is like when we are trying to go from here to eternal world, there is also a red carpet welcome arranged by Srimad Narayana, by all the which would be done by all the demigods. So basically like only the people who take Sharanagati or a wedding to Srimad Narayana, when they're about to leave the body, usually leaving a body will be very painful. I'm pretty sure everybody is aware of it. That's why everybody's afraid of death. Actually, it's not death, it's just leaving the body, because we as a soul are just like teeny tiny particles. So how tiny we are is, if you take the tip of a cow's hair and then cut into 100, and then take one piece and cut that into 100, and then take that piece and cut into 100, so that small piece, like the smallest particle, which is not even a microscopic thing, so that is the size of us. Us means the soul size is that only. And inside our heart, Paramatma is in the size of his thumb. Yeah, Paramatma, when I mention, is just a super soul, or Antaryami, which is Srimad Narayana, is the size of the thumb, and he is always with us. So at the time of us leaving the body, usually it would be very painful for those who did not take Sharanagati. It would be very painful, very, very painful, and they can go out of this body through any other way, whether via eyes, nose, mouth, ears, even genital parts, or like tummy, whichever way it is, right? So I mean, like some people would have seen their grandparents leaving the body through the eyes, where they'll get the blood from their eyes and everything. But if you have taken Sharanagati, like how sweet Sriman Narayana is, like just think about it. Like, he would hug us, and, like at the time of us leaving the body, he would hug us. And then, like, that time no pain will touch us, like no pain will near us. And then, like, he'll take us through the head crown, which is only specifically meant for Sharanagatas who has taken, like a prapati or absolute surrender unto Sriman Narayana. So there is one nadi is called 101 nadi. So that is called Brahma nadi. It's over here. It's the head crown. Head crown over here. So it's 101 nadi, like, 101st nadi is not easy way to get it, first of all. So we need a thumbprint of Sriman Narayana who is in our heart. So he has to like, give the fingerprint. Only then the Brahma nadi would get opened its way. It's like a red carpet starting from the time we are going to leave the body. Right? Actually, red carpet starts, like, as soon as we take Sharanagati or Ved Sriman Narayana. So that's what I always, like, want you guys to take Sharanagati and experience the joy of getting the red carpet welcome. I mean, I'm telling all these things based on my experience, because, like, whatever I thought I could not do, I was able to do it after taking Sharanagati. Because before I could not do it because, like, of my karma and everything, of my reactions and actions from the previous past and present birth. But, like, after taking Sharanagati, I was able to explore myself in a very different angle as well as different way. So all the red carpet will happen right from the time from taking Sharanagati till we reach over Sri Vaikuntham, and it will continues even in Sri Vaikuntham over there. So that's what we're going to explain, and we're going to, like, discuss about it. So the 101 nadi, like, it is very hard to get the soul out of it on its own. So Sriman Narayana will hug at the time when we are leaving this body, and we'll absolutely no pain will touch us, no pain will near us like others in the sense who have never taken Sharanagati. And then, like, he will just use his fingerprint as we do it in the scanner one, right? Like, as we do it in the office where we scan our scanner card, likewise ID tag, likewise, like, he has to use his fingerprint, so that, like, the Brahmanadi door opens, and then, like, he'll come with us, he'll take us towards a head crown, and from the head crown we just leave the body. So once we leave the body, we'll get another body, because we need that body in order to travel the time between, like, in order the commute, in order to occupy or accustom the commute between the this materialistic world to the spiritual world. So, like, when we are traveling, we would get a special private jet based upon our desires, like, and then he would take us, and while we are en routing to Sri Vaikuntham, all the demigods, including Indra, Shiva, Brahma, everybody will stop at each loka, and they'll do red carpet welcome. So red carpet welcome, but we'll not stay over there, don't worry about it, but they'll do a red carpet welcome. There are 12 places which we'll travel, sun, moon, and, the lightning and everything. And after that, like, after crossing all the 12 places, then there'll be, like, complete absolute darkness. So that is the start of the materialistic world. And then, like, the lightning demigod, the lightning angel will come, and they'll take us in the sense, us as well as Sriman Narayana will take us towards this. So they'll just, like, throw the flowers upon you, and then, like, they will just give you they'll give you a red carpet welcome, they'll give you gifts and whatever, like, you could think of, the imagination is up to you. We call it as Purna Kumbham. That means, like, that is a welcoming element, I would say. So it is basically a pot where, like, a coconut would be placed on top of it. That is a very auspicious welcoming ceremony. So that is given only for a great personalities or Mahatmas. So once we came out of this materialistic world, like, we land in a river called Viraja river, and there we'll take a bath. After we take a bath, and then, like, we'll have a very divine body, and with that body we'll enter the Sri Vaikuntham. So that will be a divine body which is free of distress, diseases, hunger, tiredness, sweatness. Nothing would affect us over there. And then we'll enter it, and then, like, there'll be, like, there'll be a red carpet welcome, where all the angels over there would come and, like, welcome us. Then they'll have, like, thousands and thousands of clothes, and then, like, jewelries, and then, like, they'll have all the music bands coming and they'll dance to welcome us and all those things, and then we'll be given a house depending upon our preference. If we prefer a private island, then Srimanarayana will arrange a private island for us with all the amenities, with recreation rooms and everything. Or if you prefer a 3-bedroom apartment or whichever apartment or a condos, whatever it is, like, or just like a single family home, whatever it is, like, whatever we desire for, we'll be there. So that is what Shriman Narayana's sweetness is. So like, you can ask me why the other souls are not getting it, because it's very simple. It's because of their actions and reactions, which has been accumulated over several billions of births. So unless or until if we take Sharanagati, those births and karmas cannot be like nullified. And only for Sharanagatas, like, who has wedded Shriman Narayana via taking Sharanagati or Prapati, they'll receive all these red carpet welcome. So please think about it. Please do think about it. Have a second thought, like, nothing will change. If you take Sharanagati, like, nothing will change with respect to your daily routine, except that you should not, like, have non-vegetarian. That's it. And of course, we should not have onions and garlic also. So that is it. And no alcohols. That's it. So it's very simple. And after taking Sharanagati, your life will be you see a tremendous improvement in your life, since all your karma got vanished. Is vanished, like, you will be prone to many opportunities which was being an obstacle for you. So right from the time you take Sharanagati, like, you will have you'll go through a red carpet welcome. So that is what it is. And another thing I would like to mention about is like Bhakti Yoga. So the same concept, like many other religious group would mention, I would like to mention the group like ISKCON. People would mention about Bhakti Yoga and everything. They always say like practicing Bhakti Yoga. First of all, we have to understand what Bhakti Yoga is. Bhakti Yoga is not what is mentioned, like what they mention is. But in order to do Bhakti Yoga, we need to do Karma Yoga, and then we need to do Jnana Yoga. Only then we can attain Bhakti Yoga. So Karma Yoga is nothing but, like doing all the activities for him, for Sriman Narayana. And then Jnana Yoga is like trying to understand the knowledge, and Bhakti Yoga is like, if you look into the chapter 12th of Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna would have explained like, who, like the how can I say, like the proponents of Bhakti Yogic people, where they'll neither have enemies, they'll consider not anybody, they'll consider anybody, they do not consider anybody neither as an enemies nor as friends, and then they don't have any like desires for gold, jewelry and everything. They neither have friends or foes, and like they consider everyone equally. I mean, like, come on guys, I mean, it's very difficult to attain that state. I know some people, aesthetic people have achieved like, all Maharishis and everything, but in this Kali Yuga, it is definitely not possible. And another thing, in order to practice Bhakti Yoga, we have to go to a temple, and then we have to keep on 24/7, we have to keep on meditating about Sriman Narayana. That is Bhakti Yoga. And in order to reach Bhakti Yoga, we need like, Karma Yoga. So we have to do every activity for him, every activity. And then we have to do Jnana Yoga, where you have to gain knowledge about him, right? And another thing, only with these two you can step up to Bhakti Yoga. So like, please don't get confused when they are saying like, I'm practicing Bhakti Yoga. First of all, like, you can never, Bhakti Yoga is not possible in this Kali Yuga, and many other Upanyasakas and Acharyas have confirmed that. Ramanuja Acharya confirmed it, even though he has the ability to do Bhakti Yoga, because he is the incarnation of Adishesha Bhagavan. He propounded only like, Sharanagati, because that is the easiest thing. We can even go, and Bhakti Yoga cannot be completed in this birth. It has to keep on like, going, like, we'll never know when it get completed, right? So you have to go through the sufferings again and again. Why can't we end this suffering? We have the option. Say for example, like, I would give an example of coronavirus. So coronavirus, like, they have a shots, they found the shots, and they said it's 99% effective, right? So but some people do not like prefer to take the shots, but most of the people like, take the shots because to protect themselves. So likewise, Bhakti Yoga is nothing but like, like the Sharanagati is nothing but having a shots, like, to overcome this disease. But like, if people are not utilizing it, then like, I don't know, I mean, like, you have the option to end the sufferings. So it's up to you to decide. And also it's our karma only is stopping us from not to take it. So we have to think through it, like, multiple times, and think, okay, do I need to end this suffering? After this, I don't want to return to this materialistic suffering world. And like Sriman Narayana is such a sweet person, like, he gives us everything for us. And then, like, so why can't I give it a try? It's just a 20 minutes process. Just give a call, and then, like, over the phone itself, Acharya would do it. So you don't have to do anything else. Just stop eating non-vegetarian meat, eggs, onions and garlics and alcohol. That's it. So it's that simple. So why can't you, like, try it and see if you're really, like, benefiting out of it. So that is a bhakti yoga which I would like to like mention. And another myth about, like, Sri Rama, like, in Srimad Ramayana, like, Sri Rama would have requested Sita Devi to undergo a fire sacrifice, right? Like, after Ravana was after, like, Sri Rama won the battle with Ravana, like that has a different meaning. It's not like, he has doubted her chastity or anything like that. First of all, like, Sita Devi, it's just an example given. So Sita Devi is nothing but, like, she should not be considered as a soul, but she is representing a soul, saying, like, as a soul we go through a lot. Ravana is nothing but these karma and all our desires due to our karma will try to pull us away and take away from the Sriman Narayana. And after, like, Sriman Narayana, after taking Prapati or Sharanagati, what would happen is, like, Sita Devi is coming, and then of course Sita Devi is supreme, so we should not ever think her as a soul. That is a utter stupidity. But she's just telling us, hey, you know what, like, she's just acting like, what, like, like how I suffered, like, you guys are also suffering. How, like, Sriman Narayana, we are getting separated from Sriman Narayana due to our desires and karma, so we cannot attain him. And then, like, she did Sharanagati to Sri Rama, and then Sri Rama came, and like he won the battle over Ravana. So Ravana is nothing but, like, all our desires and karmas and everything. And after, when you're about to leave the body, the fire sacrifice is nothing but a soul purification. Why we need to do soul purification? Because we have been in different bodies for so many period of time, so all our bad things would still be there. So we need to do a soul purification before he take us to Sri Vaikuntham. So that is what it is. So the fire sacrifice which Sri Rama made is not to doubt Sita Devi. Why he would doubt Sita Devi, right? It is just to show us, like, whenever we are trying to go back to Sri Vaikuntham after taking Sharanagati, whenever you are able to leave this body, a soul purification things will happen. That is nothing but when we leave this body, we'll take a different body. So that is why when Sita did a fire sacrifice, she came out in a different body. And then, like, Sri Rama would have lifted Sita Devi and walked towards the Pushpaka Vimanam, which is nothing but a private jet. So that is what it is. So that is the soul purification process, and that is done to each of us, and that is just done to show to the world that this is soul purification process. Is not doubting Sita Devi or anything like that. Okay, so that is another thing. And then the third thing is, like, so you can also ask about, like, how about Gopikastris, like, who are they, and like, did they achieve this Sharanagati and everything? Actually, Gopikastris are Maharishis from Dandakaranya forest. If you have read Srimad Ramayana, like, when when Sita Rama and Lakshmana, like, entered Dandakaranya forest, like, there were many 5 lakhs Maharishis, like, as soon as they saw Sri Rama with his handsomeness, manliness and everything, they immediately like fallen in love with him. So if you think from this materialistic perspective, it might sound so strange. How can a man fall in love with a man? But from spiritual perspective, I mean, even from materialistic perspective also, we are as souls. So souls are female. So that realization the Maharishis already attained. So they were actually, like, doing all the meditation upon, like, Sriman Narayana to grant that boon. And when they saw Sriman Narayana in the form of Sri Rama, they got so attracted by his beauty, manliness and everything. They got so desired to attain him. And then, like, Sri Rama said, not in this avatar, because, like, I am here to propagate dharmic activities. So in my next avatar, Krishna avatar, like, you will be born as a Gopikastris, and you will attain me as your wish. So even in that case, Maharishis did not take any Sharanagati. So that's why, like, Gopikastris, all the Dandakaranya Maharishi, there were 5 lakh Maharishis, and they were born as a Gopikastris. So they are not just 16,108 Gopikastris as told by the other religious group. There are 5 lakhs Maharishis, and they all the 5 lakhs people were born as Gopikastris, and since they did not take Sharanagati, they just want to attain Sriman Narayana and do Rasalila with him. So they did not take Sharanagati. That's why they are in Karya Vaikuntham, and they are still in this materialistic world along with us. And similarly, the wives of Sri Krishna also, they are nothing but the celestial damsels, the Devastris. They saw Sriman Narayana at one point of time before even Sriman Narayana takes all these avatars, and they got attracted and infatuated towards him, and they really want to enjoy him. So they started doing all the penances to attain him, and they were born as wives of Sri Krishna, and they did not take Sharanagati except Sri Rukmani Devi, because Rukmani Sandesha means message. When Rukmani Sandesha, she clearly said Atmar Pitascha Bhavatotra. That means I just surrender myself. Atma means soul. I surrender myself unto you. So except Rukmani Devi, rest of all 16,107 people, they did not take Sharanagati at all. So they are still roaming like us. They are still suffering like us. So that is all I could think of for today's thing. So I mean, again, I'm just trying to stress it out to everyone, whoever has taken Sharanagati, I'm so happy for you, but whoever has not, please think through it, because Sriman Narayana is a very, very sweet person. I mean, irrespective of whatever religion you follow, caste, creed, gender, it doesn't really matter. We are all souls, irrespective of whichever body we are in. We are all souls. Souls are always females. Only Sriman Narayana is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is our only husband in our own form, whichever we desire. So he's such a sweet person, and he always he's ready to give us even a supremacy position to us if he desires so. So who would give us any position or anything without any ego, without nothing? So he's ready to take care of us. So please think through it, and you'll never get this chance. So maybe next session I would discuss about the parenting skills, like how we could improve the parenting with applying some practical knowledge. Again, thank you so much for watching my videos, and if you ever think of taking Sharanagati or with Sriman Narayana, please contact Ahobilamat USA or Ahobilamat India, or please email me. I'll share a contact number from those who can arrange it as soon as possible. My email address is madhavalasya@gmail.com, madhavalasyaa@gmail.com. See you soon. Have a good rest of the day, as well as have a great weekend. And just a reminder that Monday is Rukmani Ashtami, so please do celebrate her appearance day, and let's all get her blessings to get Sharanagati sooner, or with Sriman Narayana sooner. So thank you so much. Goda Govinda.